lets you get the types across. You know, you just can't have like a new generation with saying, okay, this is this type. It's like with Magnemite. In the old games, it was just electric. Now it's electric and steel.
Yes, level 17.
But I think it's pretty cool. You know, having a new fairy type, which is super effective against dragon. I do like dragons, but I just don't like how everyone's all up with their skirts with them.
Right,
Like-
we're using Charmeleon for a while.
See, dragon type, hate it.
Why?
Oh wait, no, it looks like a dragon type. That's the thing.
What does?
Charizard. Apparently, it looks like a dragon, and people think it's a dragon, but it's actually a fire flying type.
I know it's a fire flying type.
Well, I didn't.
I just like I just like how it looks.
So does everyone. And that's why like people mention like Charizard, when people like go, I don't like Charizard, and everyone loses their minds. It just blows their minds that people don't like Charizard.
If anything, you have to give respect to Charizard for disliking Ash completely. Was that because Ash didn't have a high enough badge count?
I don't think the badges actually really counted. I think it's because Charizard knew that Ash was like a dick of a trainer, or
wasn't his trainer originally?
or wasn't really worthy of him. Charizard wants to be dominated. Someone to give him this firm hand.
Are you sure you're talking about Pokemon now?
I'm very much talking about Pokemon. Yeah, some Pokemon need to know their boundaries, because when Charmeleon evolved, he basically became the teenager.
I think Charmeleon did I think Charmeleon obeyed Ash, you know, in between Charmander and Charizard. If Charmeleon was bored, he'd help Ash. You know, if he had nothing better to do.
I know Charizard, as he was abandoned by his first trainer years ago as a Charmander.
Yeah, and then the guy wanted him back since he beat Team Rocket on his own.
But if that happened to him years ago, then Charizard would be like, okay, if he abandons me, if I leave this guy now, I've done it before. I'll just find someone else. Don't
forget Charmeleon almost. Don't forget Charmander almost died.
Yeah, but
Because you remember because of his flame and the rain.
I think that only happens in the old school episodes. You don't see any close to death Pokemon experience in any of the episodes. Just like the first season, you see it. And you also see people getting their arms broken when they're riding a Ponyta.
I found that Pokemon race rather funny.
I wanted to do that. I would feel bad for the Pokemon riding because I'd be thinking I'm riding something else.
But the trouble is, you know when Ponyta evolved into Rapidash? Oh, I found another Moonstone. But when when Ponyta evolved into Rapidash, the Fire Main, didn't that spread most of the way down its back?
Yeah, so in theory, it would have burnt Ash.
Yeah. It just defies all logic, Pokemon. That's what I think is awesome about it.
And I saw like this picture a few days ago saying, which will you choose? The perfect girl or a Pokemon? And I'm thinking that's a really hard choice. Because like, it's a Pokemon and it's a perfect girl. Which one would you go for? I'll probably go for Pokemon.
Zubats are the Pidgeys of the caves.
They're like everywhere.
You know what we should do? We should
What?
level the caves just to annihilate the Zubats. Make them an endangered Pokemon. So people will think twice before making them faint.
So you make these Zubats the endangered species.
Yes. We'll make Zubats a legendary.
It's like that one Zubat left. My god! It's a legendary Pokemon. Why is it so legendary? It was a nuisance in our ass.
I found these fossils, they're both mine. Well, what if I want one? You can't have two. Try carrying... he doesn't know that he doesn't realise that there's two of us. One of us, you can grab him and I can beat him up until he says, fine, take one.
So are we making Pokemon, our trainers, into muggers now? We're not the...
Well, technically that's what Team Rocket are.
Team Rocket experiment on Pokemon as well, and they kill them.
And they mug people, and they mug trainers off their Pokemon.
And they don't pay their rent on time.
What's that got to do with anything?
It's a crime! It's like paying a ticket on the car.
Yeah, they don't pay their rent on time. They pay it 1 day later.
I know, it's just... It's so rude. I want to get a Grimer, so I can get a Muck.
I know where you're going with this, and don't.
No, I actually quite like Muck. It's stat-wise, it's not so great, but it's not that bad of a Pokemon.
I find it funny. Ah, damn it! I just used Smokescreen. I hate that move. But I find it funny how it was really affectionate towards Ash.
And Professor Oak.
Yeah. Just wanted hugs completely.
And it's like, Muck. I don't like how in the Pokemon series, like with Ash and all, it's like he gets these high-level Pokemon like Charizard and technically Pikachu, and yet when he brings them back into a series, they get their asses handed to them. It's like, couldn't you actually tried? Your Pikachu should be like level 100, give or take, and it gets beaten by level 5 Pokemon until technicality.
That's also what annoys me about the anime. You know, all these Pokemon get to use their strong moves in the first couple of episodes, when we have to wait 300 odd levels to use it.